People ask me this question a lot. What exactly do I sell on Amazon? And my answer is always the same. I tell them I sell anything that makes profit. And a lot of people don't like that answer, but it is the realest answer I can give them because I don't care which category or niche that it's in. If the data shows that there's a profit to be made, then I want to sell it. So the true question then becomes, well, what data are you looking at to ensure that the products that you're selling are good choices and actually going to make you money? So I've run some TA searches and I want to dive into them with you guys so that you can see exactly what parameters I'm looking at when I decide if a product is buy worthy or not. A lot of new sellers that I talk to say, well, I really hope that this product actually is going to sell. And that shouldn't really be a question in your mind at all. If you are doing the right research and looking at the right data, you are going to know before you purchase that product if it's going to sell or not. I'm also going to show you how to decide to jump onto a listing that Amazon is also on. Because some products, they do share the buy box. Other products, they don't share so well. So I'm going to show you exactly how to figure that out. Before we dive into all of that, if you're new here, I'm Cassandra and I'm a full-time Amazon seller. On this channel, I like to teach everything that I'm learning when it pertains to selling on Amazon so that you can do the same. Something new that I'm also offering now, aside from this channel, is coaching. So if that's something that you're interested in, look down below in the descriptions if you would like my personal one-on-one help with Amazon. All right, let's get going. Before we jump into my searches, if you have not subscribed already to Profit Guru, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss one of our videos. Okay, so from the dashboard, we're going to come here to the completed searches. So this is where the searches that are already completed will live. You'll be able to see the scan time, how long it took. So for this one, I picked some areas on Dick's Sporting Goods and I compared that to Amazon so it would show me what actually makes a profit. You can see that it scanned here in just over 6 hours, 26,000 products, and it added 428 of them saying that there's potentially profit here. I also did a scan on ELF. You can see that it scanned 43,000 products. And according to what I told it for my filters, it only found 8 products to add. Over here in the queue, these are the searches that you have going, but they're not completely finished yet. But what's cool about this is you can start looking at the data even if the search is not completely finished. So you can see some reverse searches that I have going on. Here's one. I have 284 products that I could look at, even though that my scan is not done yet. It's been scanning now for 13 hours. So these scans can take a long time, but there's still data that you can look at while the scan is still going. And yes, it does take a long time to do these scans and to perform them completely, but think about how long it would take you to manually do that on your own. So if I wanted to manually look at Walmart's website and then each product that I'm finding, go over to Amazon, open up a tab, that is going to take me forever to do. This has already scanned 26,000 products. And if I did that on my own, it's going to take me a lot longer than right there to do it. So what I like to do is do a ton of scans at once, and then as the data starts coming in, then I jump in and start looking at it. So I'll choose one, come to results, and then view data. Now, the more that you do this, the better that you get at it and the faster that you get at it. So there's some things that I like to look at right off the bat. For example, I'm looking to make sure first off that the product looks to be the same. This is the one that it found to buy. This is the one on Amazon. So I'm going to look at that really fast. Then I'm going to come over here to the profit, make sure that there's enough profit to make it worth my while, as well as the ROI. If that's looking good, then I'll stop and look a little further down here. I want to see how many units are selling a month, what the average rank is, and what the average price is. Then I'm also going to look at the number of competition. So that's the very basics of the research when it comes to the data in the beginning. Then if something catches my eye, that's when I start really digging into it to make sure that it's a good purchase. So for this one, obviously I wouldn't stop because that's not enough profit. But something that you can do to definitely speed it up is to apply some filters here. So let's say I don't want it to show me any products that don't make at least $3 of gross profit. I can put that into the filter and apply. So there were 276 products, and just by putting in that one filter, now it has reduced it down to 134. Now I'll start sliding through and seeing what catches my eye. So the first thing I notice here is the quantity. This is for a 3-pack, and TA picked this up as a 1-pack. So you could even come here and adjust it. and then actually just removed it because it was negative profit after that. Yes, I have profit here, but the ROI is not really good. For arbitrage products, I'm really looking to at least have 20%. 30 would be even better, and the higher we go, the better it is. But to be under 20% for arbitrage, that really doesn't seem worthwhile for me. Again, I have a mismatch. This is a 3-pack and this is only a 1-pack. So once I adjust that quantity, it's no longer profitable. So right here, some other things to talk about. This SUP, that means that the buy box is suppressed. So if the buy box is suppressed, that means that it's hidden. So when somebody comes on to this listing on Amazon, a buyer, there is not going to be an add to cart button. Instead, they're going to have to click a button that says, click here to see all of the sellers. So it's an additional step for them. And then from that point, they're going to get a whole list of all of the sellers. So if you're not the FBA bottom dollar price, they're not going to choose you. So being a suppressed buy box isn't really something that I'm going to want to jump into. Underneath that, you're going to see an MF, and that means merchant fulfilled. So the seller on this is not sending it into Amazon and doing FBA. They are actually merchant fulfilling it themselves. They'll put the product into the envelope, print out the shipping label, and ship it themselves and take care of the customer service themselves. So that's the difference between FBA and merchant fulfilling. So let's stop and jump into this one for a second. This is a toothpaste and a little finger brush. So like for an infant that can't brush their teeth yet. The image seems to be an exact match. It looks like it's for 1. I can see though AMZ, that tells me Amazon is on this listing. The profit though does look good. 31 sales, and there are 2 sellers on it. So what I'm going to do now is jump into the Amazon listing to look a little closer, and I'll click the image to do that. All right, first things first. As an Amazon seller, that doesn't mean that you can sell everything in the catalog. So I want to make sure that I can actually sell this product before I waste time researching it. So to do that, I come right here to limitations to sell. If I could not sell this, I would see in red telling me that I need to request approval and that I don't have the authority right now to sell this product. But you can see that there's nothing in red, so I'm able to sell this. So things are looking pretty good so far. Now I'm going to check my seller amp over here. This is telling me that it's in the top 2%. So that means that it's not a super fast mover. It's about 24 sales a month according to this. Estimated time to sale, 63 weeks. That is a long time. So everything was looking pretty good on this listing up until now. So now I'm going to come down and look and see who's the competition. So I can see that Amazon and one other seller, Beyond Your Home is their store name. They're the only ones on this listing. Amazon has 350 toothbrushes in stock. So now I'm going to come down here, and right underneath the product, you're going to see your Keepa chart. So the Keepa chart here is going to tell me pretty much everything that I need to know to decide if I should purchase this product or not. Where I really like to come is right here to data. And I like to check what the typical rank and buy box sit at. So the sales rank looks pretty good. Here's the current, the 90-day average. It doesn't seem like it's changing too much. That's not bad. Now, where I would go next is here to buy box statistics. This is where you can tell if Amazon is sharing the sales or not. So we only have 2 people on this listing right now, Amazon, and then there's the FBA seller. I can see their prices, and right here I can see who's winning the sales. 82% of the time when somebody adds this to their cart, Amazon is getting the sale. They're sharing the buy box 18% of the time with Beyond Your Home. So that means every time 100 of these toothbrushes sell, 82 of them Amazon's getting the profit for, and they're allowing 18 of those units to go to the other seller. So Amazon winning this buy box over 80% of the time, that's not really a great listing to jump onto. And that's probably why there's only 2 sellers on it, because other sellers see that Amazon is just dominating this listing. Not all listings do they take control of the buy box over 80% of the time, but for this one, they are. So I personally don't want to jump onto it because I'm probably going to have to hold on to that product for a while. And if you're holding things in the warehouse and storage, then that's adding up in fees, and it's money that's just sitting. It's not coming back into your pocket. So I would not jump onto this one for that reason. Something else sellers should be aware of is hazmat. If things are considered hazmat and you did not go through the special training through Amazon, then you can't sell it. So I definitely were one of the people, the new sellers who fell victim to that. I ordered a ton of different hairsprays and perfumes, and lo and behold, I couldn't even list them. So always check and make sure that your product is not hazmat. So if I want to look for more than one scan at a time, I can come right here and I can add more scans into it. So this is the beauty brand scan. I'm going to add that in. The one from Sporting Goods, Elf. So from Big Lots, they have this 27-ounce wood whiskey barrel, and it seems to be the same product. This kind of sparked my interest, so I'm going to jump into these listings. And now we're actually going to jump right back off of this listing. As you can see, my IP alert came up and it said that this brand is known to file IP complaints. Now, IP complaints, that's the brand coming at you telling you that you're not authorized to sell their products and you have to remove them. IP complaints can really hurt your account health. So do yourself a favor and get some IP software. Because if you get too many IP violations on your account, your health is going to be really at risk and Amazon could shut you down. This one's definitely catching my eye. I know that one mask can't be selling for that much, right? So let me click into the listing and see what's going on. So from Big Lots, we can get one mask, 1 ounce, $2.69. And here, the listing, this is for a 10-pack. So clearly $2.69 times 10, that's not going to have any profit with this sell price. So as you can tell, TA isn't perfect. There's a lot of mistakes and mismatches, but if you know what data to look for, you can avoid making a bad purchase and losing money. Now, even though you might source for an hour or two and only find one good product to sell, that could be all that it takes. If you find one really good ASIN that you can just keep purchasing month after month after month, that one product alone could be making you hundreds of dollars. But what I hope that you gather from this video is that it's definitely not a easy, get rich quick type of thing. There's a lot to consider and a lot to look at. This one definitely catches my eye. It seems to be a match. The price difference seems to be definitely great enough to make a really good profit. 37 sales across all the variations and 6 sellers. Let's look a little deeper. Now, covering me up, when I go onto a site, I have a ton of different cashback and coupon offers because that's what you want to do with arbitrage. Get yourself top cashback. Get yourself Be Frugal, Rakuten, all of the different things that are going to save you money because all of these coupons and discount codes, that adds up, it racks up, and it gives you more profit in your pocket. All right, so it looks like the black and white are not available. We have the white and black and these sizes. Let's check the listing and see which one sells the best. Down to the variations, filter the ratings. And for the white one, the one with the most ratings, we have 9% is size 10. Then underneath that, size 10.5, and then 9.5. I also like to look at the prices here because depending on the size, the price difference is usually pretty big. So the 10 is going for $125. The 10.5, yeah, it has 1% less of the ratings, but it's selling for a really higher price. So if I was getting this shoe for $64, let's see what the profit would be. So let's select the 10.5. My price would be about $65. And that is a lot of profit in the end. So this would definitely be something that I would jump on. It looks like there's only one other seller selling this right now. So that definitely wouldn't be an issue. And even though this isn't the variation that I know is just going to fly off the shelf the fastest, I really don't have any other competition here. And that is a really good profit to not get this size. So depending on what was in stock, I would probably get a variation of the sizes. So this is what a day at the office looks like for somebody that does arbitrage on Amazon. It's just trying to find the products, look at the data to make sure that everything looks good. All of the historical data is saying, yes, it's going to sell, and yes, it's going to sell for this price, getting it to your house, and then sending it to the warehouses. Now, let me show you also really quick how I run my searches. So I come over to product search, and the first thing I want to do is kick this over to a basic search. Also, I forgot to mention that if you want to try out TA and you haven't yet, I have a link down below that gets you an extended free trial. You get 10 days for free. Now, the reason why I start out here with just the basic search is because I can see all of the different stores. And sometimes what happens to me is I get stuck in familiarity. So if I'm doing Walgreens, I'll just be looking at Walgreens every day and I'll forget about all of the other options. So I like to come here first and look at the stores. Then once I find one, what I'm going to do is go to that website to see what they're offering for discounts this week. So let's go to CVS Pharmacy. So I can see top cash back is getting up to 12.6% cash back. So I can see they're doing up to 40% off of a beauty event. And then here we have Neutrogena, Aveeno, Clean and Clear, buy one, get one 40% off. Now the thing is, if I just run a basic search in TA, it's not going to take into account those discounted prices. So what I need to do is manually put in that discount. This discount is for 9 pages worth. So I'm going to copy this URL, click CVS Pharmacy. But now we're going to come up here and we are going to flip this to an advanced search. And this is definitely the difference between people who say that they find stuff on TA and those that say they never find anything on TA. Because if you were just running a basic search for CVS, you're not going to see those discounts. So instead, I'm going to manually put in those pages that I wanted to source. And then I'm going to come down to the filters and adjust it to take into account that discount. So it's buy one, get one 40%. So that means each product individually, we could say, is 20% cheaper than the price it's showing. And now we'll run the search. So that's a big tip for using TA. Start out in the basic just so that you can see the stores. Choose a store and then go to that store's website to then manually put into your filter the discount that you want applied. That's going to help you to find some more products and take advantage of different discounts and codes. I really hope this was helpful for you guys to see me in action sourcing and then to know what data to look for and where to find that data, because that is really what this is all about. Finding the products and ensuring that those products are actually going to sell and make you a good profit. So if you know what you're looking for, then you're eliminating your risk and you're going to be increasing your profits. Again, check the description down below. I have all my different discount codes and softwares and coaching opportunities, plus my free Discord and Facebook group. And again, make sure you're subscribed so that you can keep learning with me every single week.